Good morning, children.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good
Good
morning,
morning.
ma'am.
ma'am.
Good morning, children. Good morning. Children, please tell me, was any assignment given on
No, ma'am.
on the last class on Friday? Any assignment was given other than completing your classwork? Was any other assignment given?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am. Other than the test, no assignment.
Okay, fine. Other than completing the classwork, no other assignment, right? All right, children, fine.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah. So now you're clear with the okay. Let me say you're familiar. Okay, so you're familiar with the concept of mean. We have seen various terms related to mean. And also some terms specific to statistics. Now it's your turn to define these terms. What is data? We have seen them earlier. We've seen all these terms earlier in the first class on statistics, and I also revised it in the last class. Yes. What do you understand by data? We're recalling, children.
Ma'am, shall I say what is data?
Yeah, what is data?
Ma'am, a data is a numerical figure used to represent a number.
Okay. So you're giving out some information, but not really complete. Try again. Now, supposing I have five numbers. I have five numbers representing the weights of five students. I have five numbers, say 35 kgs, 42, 40, 50, 65. I have five numbers, say, representing the weights of five students. Is this data? Is this data? I say I have five numbers representing the weights of five students. Will those five numbers form data? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Searching about a specific information.
Okay, see, so this collection is called data because data is a collection of numerical figures, numbers, and the numbers must represent some type of information. Here, the five numbers represent the weights of five different students. So when you consider five numbers, like I told you, maybe I'm giving different numbers now, say 35, 40, 42, 45, 50. So I have these five numbers representing the weights of five different students. So what I have with me is data. Those five numbers form data. Why? Because I have a collection of five numbers. I have a collection of five numbers, and the numbers represent some information. And that information is the weights of five different students. So data is basically a collection of numerical figures representing some kind of information. Raw data is now when I've just collected the information. So I have met five students and I've checked their weights. I made each of them stand on the weighing scale and I have noted down their weights. So it's fresh. That information, I just collected that information. I have not studied the information. I've just collected it. That is raw data. Raw data is the data which is just collected and still needs to be organized, analyzed, and interpreted. What is an array?
Ma'am, an array is arranging in ascending or descending order.
Yeah, when you arrange the numerical figures in the data in the ascending or descending order. When you arrange the data, what does data have? It has some numerical figures in it. So when you arrange those numbers in the ascending or descending order, it's called an array. What about tabulation of data?
Ma'am, those collection of numerical figure is being placed into a tabular column known as tabulation of data.
Okay, good. So when you organize the data in the form of a table, you organize it, meaning you arrange it. Organizing. Don't we arrange our wardrobe, the cupboard in which you have, you have your clothes. So you find it's messy. So you arrange, you fold the clothes and keep it neatly. You put them in the hangers or your bookshelf, your book desk. Your books are lying, they're scattered. So don't we organize? Organizing is putting them in a particular way so that it looks neat and tidy. In the same way, when it comes to statistics, tabulation of data is organizing the data in the form of a table so that it is ready for analysis. The statistician has collected the information to study something. So when he puts it in the form of a table, it's more convenient for him to analyze and interpret the data. Okay, so tabulation is organizing, like how you organize the books in your bookshelf or the clothes in your wardrobe. It's messy, so you arrange it. So that is organizing. So organizing the data in the form of a table is tabulation of it. Tabulation meaning in a table. Tabulation means in a table. Okay, observations or observation. What is an observation?
Ma'am, we may observe the numerical figures in the data.
Okay, well tried actually. Well tried, but in statistics, it has a different meaning. So every numerical figure in the data, see now, when we took up the example of weights of 5 students, every number there, so 35, 40, 45, every number there is an observation. Data is a collection of numerical figures. Data is a collection of numerical figures representing some kind of information. Now, every number in the data is called an observation. Every number in the data is called an observation. What do we understand by frequency of an observation? Am I audible, children? All of you
Yes,
can hear
ma'am.
clearly? All of you?
You're
Anugraha,
audible, ma'am.
Nandana, Mritika?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what is meant by frequency of an observation? Frequency. We understood what an observation is. Every numerical figure in the data, every number in the data is a collection of numbers. Data means it's a collection of numbers representing some information, maybe the marks scored by some students, weights of students, heights of students, or it could be, anything like that regarding the population of different countries during a particular year, the number of children in different families. So observation is basically every number. Data is a collection of numbers. In simple words, data is a collection of numbers. And every number, every numerical figure in the data is called an observation. Then what is frequency of an observation?
Ma'am, like how much times or as a number of times an observation is being present in a data?
Yeah, correct. So frequency is the number of times. Frequency of an observation is the number of times an observation happens in the data. What about statistics? It's a subject that deals with the collection, organization, analysis, and interpretation of data. Yeah, go through the definitions. Just read through every definition, take a picture, write this in your book later. Now I want you to read, go through every definition. Next class, remind me, let me just check the definitions if you have understood them. And if you're able to define them, remind me in the next class. Let me ask you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. See, when we are learning statistics, it is very important that we are very clear with these terms. When you say to find mean, median, and mode, but when you're not able to define or explain these terms, it makes no sense. You need to know. So see, these are some technical terms used in statistics. Observation, otherwise in English, means you're observing something. Observation. Your observation is very poor. That means you're not looking at things, you're not trying to understand correctly. Your observation is very poor. It's different. In statistics, when we say observation, every numerical figure in the data is called an observation. So these are some technical terms related to statistics, how we understand them in statistics. I hope you took a screenshot, all of you.
Took screenshot, ma'am.
Okay. So this is the first question. This is the first question, defining the terms. Yes. Now in question number 2, children, you see 20 numbers. Okay, you see 20 numbers. What do you call those 20 numbers? What do they form, those 20 numbers?
Numerical expression.
Yeah, I got two answers. Numerical figures. Correct. We see some numerical figures. When you have a collection of numerical figures, what do you call them?
Data.
Ma'am.
All of you. I want all of you to understand.
Data.
Data. Yes, I heard it earlier from somebody. Good. I wanted all of us to understand that. We see some numbers in question number 2. If you count, there are 20 numbers. So number meaning each one is a numerical figure. Each one is a numerical number meaning numerical figure. We have a collection of numerical figures. What is
data.
that? Data. So those numbers which you see form data. What is 5 in the data? What is 5 in the data?
It's an observation.
It's an observation. What is 6 in the data?
And same observation,
ma'am.
It's an observation. What is 1 in the data?
Observation, ma'am.
It's an observation, ma'am.
So this collection of numerical figures is called data. And this is only raw data, because we have not still tabulated it. We have not organized. We have just collected the information. It's just like that. We have presented it the way we have collected it. We have not done any organizing with this data. So this is raw data. This data is raw data. It's just in the same form as it was collected. This is raw data. Every number, data is a collection of numerical figures. Every number in this data is called an observation. What is the frequency of 2? Now 2 is an observation. 2 is an observation of this data. Data is a collection of numerical figures. So we have a collection of 20 numerical figures. So that forms data. I hope that is clear to all of us now. Yes. Okay. Now, in this collection of numerical figures, when you pick one number, when you pick one numerical figure, that is called an observation of the data. Observation of the data. Now, the same thing with this data, when you arrange it in the ascending or descending order, that means you're putting the data in the form of an
Tabulation of data.
No.
Frequency of observation.
No. When you arrange the data in the ascending or descending order, we call
Array,
it
ma'am.
an array. It's called an array. Array. A-R-R-A-Y. A-R-R-A-R-R-A-Y. Array. If the question is represent the data in the form of an array. Represent the data in the form of an array. Meaning arrange it and you choose whether ascending or descending order you choose, but it should be in the form of an array. When they say array, it means it's your choice. You can put it in the ascending or descending order. So all these 20 numbers form the data. Every number or every numerical figure in this data is called an observation. When you arrange these 20 numbers in the ascending or descending order, it's called an array. Now tell me the frequency of 5. What is the frequency of 5 in this data?
Ma'am, 6 is the frequency of 5.
Why?
Ma'am, because 5 is the number of times observation is occurring means that's a frequency, ma'am. So here 5 is occurring 6 times. So 6 is the frequency of 5.
This is from Swati, is it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good, Swati. So 5 happens 6 times. Now somebody else tell me, Swati is right. So this number 5, this number 5 happens 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. This number 5 happens 6 times. So 6 is the frequency of the observation 5. 5 is an observation. Its frequency is 6. Yeah, now tell me, what is the frequency? Somebody else tell me the frequency of 2. What is the frequency of 2?
Ma'am, 4 is the frequency of 2.
Darling, please look at the numbers carefully. Observe. Class, the question is for you. Swati will not try. She already got one right. Others, what is the frequency of 2?
And 3.
Ma'am, can I tell?
Yes, it's an open question. Yes.
4, ma'am, 4. Ma'am, 5, ma'am.
Ma'am, 4. Ma'am, 3, ma'am.
Ma'am, 5.
Children, I cannot ask an easier question, children, please. My
Ma'am, 3.
question. No, only one person gave out the correct answer.
Ma'am, 5. Ma'am,
5 is the correct answer, ma'am.
How many of you say 5?
Ma'am, me, ma'am.
Matthew. Then?
Ma'am, I also told ma'am now.
Anugraha. Next?
Swati, I told, ma'am.
Swati says 5. What about Mritika and Nandana? Mritika and Nandana, can you see how many 2s do you see? Nandana, count.
Ma'am, 5, ma'am.
Nandana, 5. Mritika, are you there? Okay, so 5. Children, there is no hurry. See, it's not about answering quickly. It's about answering correctly. It's about answering correctly. Take your time. I was not forcing you to give the answer right away. 1, 2, 3. You should come from the beginning. Run your eyes from the beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The frequency of 2 is 5. Okay, children. So now tell me what is data. Okay,
Ma'am, data
Ma'am, it is the collection of numerical
is a
expression,
collection
ma'am.
of a numerical figure representing a ideology or thing representing a problem, ma'am.
Okay, fine. I didn't read this for you. Children, thank you. A die was thrown 20 times. We all know what a die is. It's in the form of a cube. It's a cubical thing with the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. There is one dot representing 1, 2 dots for 2, 3 for 3. A die.
Ma'am, like a dice?
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. This is the singular form. DIE, die is a singular form. DIC, dice is when you use more than one.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, a die was thrown 20 times and the following outcomes are recorded. So this information is about the outcomes. Outcome is when you toss a die or when you throw a die and you get the number 3. 3 is an outcome. 3 is an outcome. When you toss the die again and you get the number 6. 6 is an outcome. So you toss a die. I come to you and ask you, what's the outcome? So you say 6. You toss it again or you throw it up again. And you're not showing how much you got. You're not showing, you're covering it. So I come to you and ask you, hey, how much you got? Tell me. So you say 4. So the outcome on tossing the die is 4. So 20 times this die was thrown 20 times and the outcomes were recorded. So in the first throw, the outcome was 5. In the second throw, the outcome was 2. Children, are we following?
Yes,
a die
ma'am.
was thrown 20 times. A die was thrown 20 times. Every time it landed on the ground, the number which is on the top face of the die, that's the outcome, that's recorded. So in the first throw it was 5, second throw it was 2, third throw it was 1, like that 20 times. Are there 20 numbers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Yes, there are 20 numbers. Yes. Okay, so these 20 numbers represent, these are numerical figures and they represent the outcomes on tossing a die 20 times. So this collection of numerical figures is called data because it's a collection of numerical figures representing something. What is that something it represents? Outcomes on throwing a die 20 times. What is 4 in the data?
An observation, ma'am.
An observation. Is the data in the form of an array?
No, ma'am.
No, it is not arranged in the ascending or descending order. So it's not in the form of an array. Can we call this data raw data?
Yes, ma'am, because it's no, ma'am, because it's not tabulated. It's not an yes, it's not. It is in raw data, ma'am, because it's not tabulated.
Yeah,
Ma'am, and they given the specific information, ma'am.
huh. Data is raw data because we have just collected it. It's raw. We have not done, we have not arranged it in the form of an array, or we have not put it in the form of a table. We have done nothing with it. We have just collected these numbers. So this data is raw data. It is raw data. All right, children. So here the question is, arrange the above data in the ascending or descending, in the ascending order, and prepare the frequency table. And here the next question is, the daily wages in rupees of 15 workers in a factory are given below. These are the wages of 15 workers in a factory. So one worker, he earns 400 rupees per day. There's another worker who earns 360 rupees per day. There's another, see here, the daily wages, that is the daily income, daily wages in rupees. See, it can be in dollars, it can be in some other currency. So this is in rupees. This is rupees 260, rupees 360. So in rupees, the daily income of 15 workers in a factory are given below. So there is one worker who earns, tell me, explain the numbers for me. There is one, I'll tell you the first one. There is a worker who earns rupees 400 per day. Continue.
Ma'am, and there is another worker who receives a wages of 360 each day.
Per day. Then there's another worker who earns rupees 300 per day. There is another worker also who receives 300 per day. Now, what should you do with all these 15 numbers? Because 15 workers, no, so 15 numbers we have. Arrange the above data in the ascending order and prepare a frequency table.
Ma'am, we should make it into frequency table, ma'am.
Yeah. Look at the answers. You should arrange the data. There are two things you have to do. Arrange it in the ascending order. See both the, you can see question answer, you can see the answer to question number 2 and question number 3. First, you need to arrange the data in the ascending order. So you can see in both it's arranged. And after that, you'll have to prepare a frequency table. So this is the frequency table. This is the frequency table. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So you should write those numbers under observation. Give the column heading as observation and write the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the different outcomes. And frequency, how many times 1 happens? 2 times. So 2. How many times 2 happens? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 times. I'm not saying anything ahead. If you have any questions, ask me.
No doubts, ma'am.
Okay, so Swati, understand?
No doubt, ma'am.
Nandana, why in the first answer against the frequency 5, why we have written 6?
Ma'am, because 5 time 5 6 time the 5 is coming, ma'am.
Okay, so that's why 6. Okay, Matthew, in the
Ma'am?
third answer, yeah, in the third answer against 360, why do we have 6?
Ma'am, because 360 came 6 times in that raw data, ma'am, raw data.
Very good, very good. You understand? Matthew?
Yes, ma'am.
Make the table. Sure.
Yes, ma'am.
How do you write the observations? 260, 300, 360. Why have we written only those four numbers?
Ma'am, because there is only those four numbers, ma'am. Then we wrote the frequency of those numbers, ma'am.
Correct. Because in the data we have only these four different numbers. We have only 260, 300, 360 and 400. You should
Yes,
write,
ma'am.
yeah, correct. Whatever observation, you see, write it once. And then in the frequency column, you should write the number of times they happen. Okay. All of us understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All
Yes,
right, children.
ma'am.
Understood, ma'am.
All right, children. Please take a screenshot. Complete this.
Took a screenshot, ma'am.
Took screenshot, ma'am.
All right, children. Yeah. Next one. Now this is a test. All of you do this. Do this now. Do this now in the class. I'll ask one of you to give the answer. Children, please write the question and answer it. I'll wait for 5 minutes, not more than that. Your 5 minutes starts now. Yes, it should be ready. Done, children?
Done, ma'am.
Okay. Matthew.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Done with the data, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, your voice is breaking, ma'am.
Is it?
Ma'am, now it's okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, can I say?
And I'm just waiting for the others also to finish. Yes, Matthew, we just wait for 2 more minutes.
Yes.
Finished, ma'am.
Mritika, right? Yeah. Okay. Let me just unshare my screen. I'll just unshare my screen for some time. Can you see my screen, children, now? No, right?
No,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Not
Okay.
visible.
Yeah, okay. Now tell me the answer.
No, ma'am.
Yes, sir. I think I'll ask Mritika to Mritika, how many times 5 happens? Look at your frequency table and answer the questions. How many times does 5 happen? Looks like she is not able to unmute. Mritika, can you hear me?
Ma'am, can I
One
tell
minute.
the answer?
Ma'am, can you hear me, ma'am?
Yes, Mritika, please go on. Yes, I can.
Ma'am, five occurs 2 times in the frequency table, ma'am.
Okay, 5 occurs 2 times. What about 6?
6 occurs 4 times, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, Mritika. Thank you. Matthew?
Ma'am.
Matthew,
Yes, ma'am.
read all the numbers read all the numbers in the observation column.
Ma'am, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, ma'am.
What is the frequency of 10?
Ma'am, 2, ma'am.
2. Thank you. Thank you, Matthew. You're right. Anugraha? What is the frequency of 8? What is the frequency of 8, Anugraha?
5, ma'am.
5. Okay, Swati? What is the frequency? What is the frequency of the observation 7?
Ma'am, 7 times 7 occurs.
7. Okay. Good. Thanks, Swati. Nandana?
Ma'am.
Yeah, how many times? What is the
Ma'am.
frequency of the observation 10? What is the frequency of the observation
Ma'am,
10?
2 times, ma'am.
2.
Ma'am, it's 2 times.
2. Okay. Now, Nandana, read the first 3 rows in your table. The first 3 rows. The first 3 rows in your table. You should understand what I mean. Read the first 3 rows. Like, for example, observation is 5, the frequency is 2, like that.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, for 7 is the frequency, ma'am.
No,
for
you should
8,
write it
5
no,
is the frequency. And for 10,
please hold on. Nandana, please hold on. Hold on. Nandana, you must write the numbers in the ascending order, like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You cannot write it as, you cannot write in a different order.
okay, ma'am.
Yeah, somebody
Yes,
else.
ma'am.
You're ready?
5, 5, 6, 7.
Okay, enough. 5, 6.
9, 10, ma'am.
Okay, you tell me only the frequencies of the first 3 numbers, 5, 6, and 7. What's the frequency of 5?
Ma'am, it's 2, ma'am.
And 6?
4, ma'am.
7?
7 is the frequency, ma'am.
Okay, and thanks, Nandana. Swati, what's the frequency of 8?
Ma'am, 8, 5.
9?
1.
Is it 1?
Yes, ma'am, 9 1 time.
Children, all of us got 9 once, is it?
Ma'am, no, ma'am, I got 2 times.
Yes, ma'am. I also got 2 times.
No, even I have the same answer with me, so I'm just want to check if I'm right. Swati, please check again.
Yes, ma'am.
And what about 10, Swati?
Ma'am, 10 2 times.
10 2 times. Okay. Now all of you total up the frequency column, not observation. All of you total up the frequency column. Add the numbers in the frequency column and tell me the total. What's the total of the frequency column?
Ma'am, 22.
22. Others?
Ma'am, 22, ma'am.
22. Yes, that's right.
Ma'am, I also got 22.
Okay. Is my screen visible, children?
Yes, ma'am, visible.
Yeah, please check.
Yes, ma'am.
You should have got the same table. Now the frequency of the total of the frequency column is 22. That means we have 22 numerical figures. If you count there, you arrange the numbers, no, in the ascending order. You count, there'll be 22 numbers there. That should always match. We have 22 numerical figures. 5, 5, 6, 6, 6, 6, 7, so many times. When you count those numerical figures, you will get 22. Not add, children, not add the numerical figures. When you count, when you find the count of the numerical figures, you will get 22. And that should be equal to the total of the frequency column. That should be equal to the total of the frequency column. See, like when you add like this, when you count like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. I have 22 numbers here. 22 numbers. When I arrange it in the form of a table, when I present this in the form of a table, the total of the frequency column should be 22. Should be 22. So see, this is raw data, children. Follow my pointer. This is raw data. This is raw data. This is raw data or data or raw data. Here we have arranged the data in the form of an array. We have presented the data in the form of an array. And here we have tabulated the data. We have tabulated. We have presented the data in the form of a table with 2 columns. First column heading observations, second column heading frequency. So this is tabulation of data. See, we had some numbers like this. We first represented them in the form of an array so that it's easy to count. It's easy to count, 5 happens 2 times, 6 happens 4 times. It's easy to count now. So this is raw data or data. Here we have presented the data in the form of an array. And after presenting it in the form of an array, we have tabulated the data. Tabulated the data, that is presented or organized the data in the form of a table. Okay, let's see the next one. Yes, Nritika, fill in the blanks. Data means information in the form of dash figures.
Numerical figures, ma'am.
Very good. Numerical figures. Data means information in the form of numerical figures.
Yes, ma'am.
Anugraha, data obtained in the dash form is called raw data.
Unorganized, ma'am.
Very good. Or in the original form. You collected it. No, it's just lying like that. You collected the data. You went to a school and you collected the marks of 50 students in a class. And you've just left the numbers like that. That is raw data. That is in the original form. Correct, Anugraha. Data obtained in the original form is called raw data. Yes, Matthew, arranging the numerical figures.
Ma'am, array, ma'am.
Array. Spell array.
ARRAY.
Very good. Swati, the number of times a particular observation occurs is called its
A frequency of observation, ma'am.
it's called its frequency. Frequency. Very good. Nandana, arranging the data in the form of a table is called the last one. Arranging the data in the form of a table is called
array, ma'am.
No, darling.
Array.
Take a look again. It's Nandana's turn. Don't try to answer others. Nandana, see, look for the words arranging the data in the form of a table, not in ascending descending order. If it is ascending descending order, it's an array. Arranging the data in the form of a table.
Tabulation of data.
Very good. It's called tabulation of data. Very good, Nandana. Arranging the data in the form of a table. If you're arranging it in the ascending or descending order, it is an array. Arranging the data in the form of a table is called tabulation of data. Very good, children. Well done, all of you. You can see the answers here. Take a picture, children. Yeah, let's see the next one.
Took screenshot, ma'am.
Yeah. All of us?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Okay, I'm showing you the next slide. Yes. Find the mean of first 5 natural numbers. Tell me the first 5 natural numbers. Which are the first 5 natural numbers?
Ma'am, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Ma'am.
1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. What is we're just talking about the first 5 natural numbers. We're still not finding the mean. What about the second one? The first 6 odd natural numbers. Which are the first 6 odd natural numbers?
1,
Ma'am, 3.
3. Ma'am, 1, 3,
Yes.
5, 7.
Yeah.
9, ma'am.
9. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 and?
Oh, no.
11.
7, 7.
11.
No,
11. 11. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11 are the first 6 odd natural numbers. Which are the first 7 even natural numbers?
Ma'am, 2, 4, 6,
1, 2,
8,
4,
10,
6,
12.
8,
As
10,
the first
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. 14.
14, ma'am.
also.
Okay. Okay. Which are the first 5? Children, we have not answered mean. We are just discussing the first 5 or first 6 or first 7 odd numbers, even numbers, prime numbers. We have not answered mean still. The answer does not end there. Okay, now tell me the first 5 prime numbers.
Ma'am, 2, 3, 5, 7, and then it's 11, ma'am.
Ma'am, 1, 2, 3, 5, 7.
Yes. 1 is neither a prime nor a composite
Nor a
number.
prime. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. When can you call a number a prime number?
Ma'am, when it does have
Ma'am, there is no,
two factors only,
ma'am,
ma'am.
which has no multiples, ma'am. It has the only one as the multiple, ma'am.
Okay, it is like this. A number is a prime number if it has exactly two factors. It should have exactly two, not less, not more. You should have correct exactly two. If a number has exactly not one also, not three, it should be exactly two. If a number has exactly two factors, it's called a prime number. If a number has exactly two factors, exactly two, just two, not less, not more, only two factors, it should have two factors. Then such a number is a prime number. Now, when you take up the number 1, 1 is a factor of 1. But if it should qualify to be a prime number, it should have two factors. Tell me two factors of 1. What are the two factors of 1?
Ma'am, no factors for 1, ma'am.
1 is a factor of itself. 1 has only one factor, that is itself. It does not have two factors. So 1 is not a prime number, because if it should be a prime number, it should have exactly two factors. Exactly two. So when you take up the number 1, it has one factor, that is 1 itself. It doesn't have another factor. So it doesn't have two factors. So 1 is not a prime number. 1 is not a prime number. 1 is neither a prime nor a composite number. If a number should be a composite number, it should have more than two factors. Composite numbers must have more than two factors. Prime number, exactly two factors. Composite numbers must have more than two factors. So when you take up the number 8, 1 is a factor of 8, 2 is a factor of 8, 4 is a factor of 8, and every number is a factor of itself. 8 is a factor of 8 itself. You should use a definition. See, it's not like thinking simply and saying yes, no. No, it's not like that. Use a definition. If you have to call a number a prime number, you must show two factors for that number. Correctly two factors, exactly two factors. If you're calling a number a composite number, then it should have more than two factors. Not exactly two, it should have more than two. It can be 3, it can be 4, 5, 6. But it should have more than two factors. Exactly two factors, prime number. More than two factors, composite number. So 1 is neither a prime nor a composite number, because 1 has only one factor, that is 1 itself. So it's not a prime number. And if it should be a composite number, it should have more than two factors, where it does not have. So 1 is neither a prime nor a composite number. The first 5 prime numbers are 2, 3, 5, 7, 11. Next one, which are the first 6 multiples of 5?
Ma'am, 5, 10, 15, 20,
Ma'am,
25.
5, 10, 15, 25.
Why you stopped at 25?
30.
Yeah, first 6
30, ma'am.
multiples of 5. First 6. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Now we have to find the mean of these numbers. So how do we find the mean? I'll just give you one example we'll take now, supposing this one. Mean of the
Fi plus xi.
No, F5 will not come here. For raw data, you will not get F5. Well, when you put it in the form of a table.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. So now first write out. Now I'll just tell you this one for an example. Find the mean of the first 7 even natural numbers. So which are the first 7 even natural numbers? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and 14. How do you find their mean? Add all these numbers and divide by 7. Why by 7? Because there are 7 numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 7 numbers, so we should divide by 7. Mean is 8. So you can get.
Then we should do like that. Mean is equal to sum of all observations by number of observations.
That only. Correct. Mean is equal to sum of all the observations by number of observations. Correct. That method only. Can you finish this, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Take a picture.
Ma'am, it's necessary to write the fraction in a decimal or in decimal into a fraction. Or any other one we can write.
No, you must write it as learn to write it as a decimal. That will be a practice also for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Leave it as a decimal. Any doubt? Any doubts?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am, no doubts.
Okay. Yes, do this now in the class, all of you. Which is the XI column?
Ma'am, completed, ma'am.
Which is the XI column? Weight or number of workers? Which is the XI column?
Ma'am, number of workers.
Because
We need to give the headings XI and FI. Which is the XI column? Which is the FI column? Or which is the X column and F column? X and frequency.
Ma'am, X column is weight in kg, ma'am, and F column is number of workers.
Correct. Number of workers represents the frequency. Number of workers, frequency. Weight is the data. The data is about the weights. So that will be the X column. X is the data. What the data is about. It's about the weights of 15 workers in a factory. The table shows the weights of 15 workers in a factory. So weight, those numbers under the column weight, that's what the data is about. That will be the XI column. Frequency is the number of workers, 4 workers, 5 workers, frequency. Weight is the XI column, number of workers, FI column. What is the next column which you will generate? What's the next column in the answer?
Ma'am, XI, FI column.
Yeah, XI, FI or FI, XI. XI into FI or FI into XI. Yeah, quickly find that.
Found, ma'am.
Swati, is it finished?
Yes, ma'am, completed.
Okay, fine. Let me just, what about the others? Okay, let me just wait for some more time. Continue, Swati. Finish the answer.
Ma'am, shall I tell?
No, let me just wait for the others also. We'll just give them some more.
I'm finished, ma'am.
Finished?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Mritika and Swati are finished. Others? Let me just unshare my screen and share it again. We'll see the answer. My screen is not visible, right? Children?
Yes, ma'am, not visible.
Okay. Now tell me one by one. Swati, what is the first value in the what is the first value in the FI/XI column?
Ma'am, the total value you're asking?
No, darling, the first, that is in the FI column. Okay, how many numbers do you have in the FI/XI column?
Ma'am, 5 number.
5, yeah. What is the first one?
60.
No, not in the XI column, in the FI/XI, FI into XI column. The first number in the FI into XI column, that is. Can somebody else answer my question?
Ma'am, it's like 60.
No,
into the number of times it occurs.
No, I can't say that. I'm asking you, you have created a new column, right? FI/XI, FI into XI, yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so in that column, what is the first number you have? Why?
Ma'am, I forgot to take the screenshot, ma'am.
Of what?
Ma'am, of the question, ma'am. I wrote only the answer.
Okay, no. Why am I asking it incorrectly? Children, okay, somebody else try. You have created a new column FI/XI that has 5 numbers in it. What is the first number? Okay, what is the first value in the XI column?
60, ma'am.
Okay, what is the first value in the FI column?
Ma'am, is it 4?
Yeah, it's 4. What is now, if the first value in the XI column is 60, and if the first value in the FI column is 4, what is the first value in the FI/XI column? The first number?
240.
240. 240. Who said that? 240?
Swati, ma'am.
Swati, that's what I asked you, Swati. No, tell me, please correct me, why was it difficult to answer my question?
Ma'am, I was a little bit confused that whether we have to multiply the number of frequency of observation with the xi column, ma'am, because I was absent on last class.
Oh, okay, okay. You did not, did you go through the recording?
Yes, ma'am, I go through the recording and understood what's fi xi column.
Okay, okay, fine, fine. Okay, so Swati says the first value in the FIXI column is 240. Nandana, what's the second value in the FIXI column? Okay, over to Matthew. What's the second value in the FIXI column? No answer. Mritika?
Ma'am,
What is the second value in the FIXI column?
63, ma'am.
Not in the XI column, in the FIXI column. FI into XI column. No problem. Who can answer this question? What are the
Ma'am,
different
ma'am,
numbers?
can you hear me, ma'am?
Yes.
Ma'am, the answer is 315.
3? Yeah, 315. Matthew, what's the third number in the FIXI column? Okay, now I think my question is, you're not able to follow my question. You have created the FIXI column. I'm just asking you the numbers you got in the FIXI column, nothing else. Who can read out all the numbers in the FIXI column? Okay, so this shows nobody's sure about the answer. Yeah, can you see my screen now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, please look at the answer. This is what it is. I was asking you this one. This is the FIXI column. I was asking you the first number in the FIXI column. This is the second number. This is the third number. This is the fourth number. This is the fifth number. Then I wanted to ask you the total of the FIXI column. Okay, but since all of us were not able to answer, I thought it's better I show the answer. Now you ask me. You ask me your questions. Let me make it clear. This is how we find mean for a tabulated data or for a frequency table. When the information is presented in the form of a table, when the information is in the form of a table, this is how we find mean. Number of workers. This one forms the frequency column, Fi. Weight, the data, the information is about the weight. Weights of so many workers in a factory. So that will be the Xi column. We have to create a new column, Fi into Xi. Fi into Xi. How? 60 into 4, 240. 63 into 5, 315. Multiply the Xi value and the Fi value, the corresponding Fi value. 66 into 3, 72 into 1, 75 into 2. Then find the total of this Fi Xi column. Find the total of the Fi Xi column, 975. Find the total of the Fi column. And I told you that the total of the FIXI column is called sigma FIXI. You can write a multiplication sign or you can even ignore it. You can write it like this also, sigma FIXI, like this. Sigma means total of, summation. Sigma FIXI, the total of the FIXI column by sigma FI, the total of the FI column. Sigma is a Greek letter, which in statistics means summation. Summation of the, summation meaning total of. the total of the FIXI column, that is 975, by the total of the FI column, which is 15, will give us the mean of this table. 975 by 15, which is 65 kgs. That means the mean weight of the workers is 65 kgs. On an average, every worker weighs 65 kgs. On an average, we say roughly, no, roughly the weight of every worker is 65 kgs. It may be a little less or a little more, but on an average, the weight of every worker in the factory is 65 kgs. All right, children. So I think you need more practice on this. Please do that. Please practice. We've seen, I think, 1 or 2 in the last class. Work the same sums, practice and be ready for a test in the next class. This is homework. Take a picture, homework. Done?
Done, ma'am.
Ma'am, no, ma'am. 1 minute, ma'am.
Okay, take this one. Take this one.
Ma'am, we should find the FI and XI for this.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, ma'am.
This is one. This is the other one. 2 questions for homework. 2 new questions for assignment. Also, as a part of the assignment, practice whatever questions like this we have seen in the class so far. Next class, before I even complete the question, you should tell me the answer. Before even I ask you what is the first value in the, you must give me the answer. You should be that quick. All right, children. So that's it for today's session.
Ma'am, this one
Yes.
and which is the homework?
Yeah, okay. You took a picture of this?
Yes, ma'am, took for this.
Okay, this is the first one. This is the second one.
Yep.
All right. All right, children. Fine, children. That's it for today's session. Thank you so much. You may leave the meeting.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, children. Thank you.
Ma'am, 1 minute, ma'am.
What happened?
Ma'am, this one, ma'am.
What? Which one, ma? You
Ma'am,
want to
this
see the?
Yes, ma'am. Find the mean height. Ma'am, took, ma'am.
All right. Yeah. Thank you, children.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, children.